Go and tell your boss
to condemn them.
To disband SHA. Go and tell your boss to disband national housing. Go and tell your boss
on the basis,
to disband e-citizen.
On the basis
Kenyans
of the Auditor General's report, the power to disband SHA is in your hands. Do not disappear from parliament like you did, like you have said you did when it came to voting. Be in parliament, vote
also
when the report is.
Also yours and that of Dr. Makalimo.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And by the way, he voted yes, so we have the records from the Hansard, and that goes unchallenged.
But he said he has learned from
this. He said he didn't vote.
We have resolved that matter.
Yeah, it's resolved.
Yeah. And I'm the chair.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. You are the Speaker of the House.
Of the other flagship project by President William Ruto, the housing. And the Auditor General also in her report, Honorable Murio, coming to you, says that, quote, the State Department of Housing entered into contracts with various contractors for the construction of affordable houses across the country at a total of 49.45 billion Kenya shillings. However, land ownership paperwork for sites where the projects are being implemented were not provided for the audit. She also says that the issue could hinder the sale of houses to the public as sectional titles cannot be produced without the original title deed.
Abdikadir, you have not seen enough. Every signature project is purely meant to benefit individuals. Now.
Okay, I'll get back to you. Your mic, you need to rectify your mic. Yes, my assistant will be here. Yeah. Yes, Dr. Makali,
the issue is, I think that is a statement of fact, what you've read.
Yeah.
And the truth of the matter is, without the mother title, obvious, then you cannot get those other titles. And what it means is people are likely to buy houses. At the end of the day, then those houses might be repossessed either by whoever will have sold to them or the owners of the land. But the question is, Ayub, has any of these signature projects of this government succeeded? Because you look at that report, it is casting doubts on ASLA Fund. We've lost about 8 billion. Housing, there are issues. SHA has issues. So what is the underlying problem? And that's the question I ask myself. Is it that people never took time to think through these projects when they were conceptualizing them? Or is it that deliberately things are being done just to fail? Because you remember, when we were discussing the ASLA Fund, those days before it was implemented, we were giving an example where we were saying, this country has been having the Women Enterprise Fund, the Youth Development Fund, over the years. And these funds have never succeeded. Every time we have issues with them. And the question we're asking is, are there any lessons which could have been learned from those earlier funds, which would inform this ASLA Fund? And I think those statements were all ignored. Now, the ASLA Fund is actually in the same position where the Women Development Fund was, where the Youth Development Fund was, facing the same challenges, where Kenyans have taken loans and they have not paid. When you look at the details of the report, it even says people under the age of 18 have also accessed the resources. You wonder, how do you give money to somebody under 18 in form of a loan, somebody who doesn't even have an identity card, you know? So there are so many questions in some of these signature projects of Kenya Kwanza. You ask yourself whether at any point due diligence was done before the implementation started. Okay. And to me, these are the issues. And that's why you see the Auditor General is now picking these issues. And one thing I like about the Auditor General, she has the right personnel to do the work. People who take time to look at all these details and give us a final report. And what we should be asking ourselves now, in this panel, is, now, are we in a situation where, can we say today that let's do away with the SHA, let's do away with the ASLA Fund, let's do away with the housing project, to save Kenyans the money we are losing, and then come up with projects which are going to be of help to our people? Okay. That's a big question. Yes, if we can answer that question, I think we'll be making
we'll be coming
progress.
To that. Addressing
yes, addressing your issue on housing. Yes. You know, I'm the founder of UDA party. And I was part of the team which drafted the manifesto, which became the genesis of housing project. And And I'm happy that my brother Yahavi was also part of that team.
He was there at the manifesto launch.
And maybe also did not tell you that when you hear Harvey calling me boss, it's not fake. I was his first employer.
Very good employer.
So we have come from very far. So when you see him articulating issues on TV, on national issues, I'm the person who has trained him. So he's an apple which has fallen not very far from the tree. But coming to the point. Coming to the point.
Very far from the tree.
Not far from the tree. Coming to the point.
Yeah.
The housing fund, there is no way in the manifesto where we were supposed to tell people contribute to the housing fund. It was part of the budgetary allocation to address the housing shortage. It came back that we were supposed now to come back and go back to the people's pockets. And remember our crowning call as UDA party, we were saying, once we get an opportunity to govern, we shall put money in people's pocket, not removing them from the pocket. So it went against our manifesto. Coming to the housing itself, what's happening is that we are putting the cart before the horse. You are building houses without finding out who has the title, who is going to occupy these houses, where are these houses. And I give you a very good example. In my constituency, the houses are being built in the middle of Del Monte Estate, land was given to the county government.
That's in Gatanga?
In Gatanga constituency. Okay. That's number one. Number two, in Gatanga constituency, there's nobody who does not have a house.
Nani hana kwao.
There's nobody who has a house. So what are we saying? Are we addressing a need, or are we addressing an agenda?
We raised all these questions before the brief.
All right? Are you addressing a need for you to tax people to build houses? Are you addressing a need, or are you addressing an agenda for a commercial enterprise? And for me, I normally say, a mistake is not a mistake for repeating it. Housing project is a sham. Okay. It should be disbanded. So. And people refund back their money. It's not serving. In fact, we are saying that money should be put in roads, because even if you put a house in the middle of nowhere, how can I get there? So better put me a road, I'll take myself home.
Okay, let me then ask you this. This was as a result of the introduction of the Finance Bill, now an Act of Parliament 2023. You remember that, Honorable Murio. Why did you vote yes for the act which has introduced this?
I believed in this bill purely because the way it was crafted. Remember, the spirit of the law is proper, because again, housing is key to a human need. In fact, it's part of the three key ingredients of a human existence. The challenge here is the implementation. Number one, in terms of taxation, and number two, where those houses are being done. So, and we are saying, and that's why you heard me saying, yeah, you can implement on something and find it's not working.
Okay, so you said...
if it's not working, then disband it.
So in the manifesto, you said this was not clearly, looking at the manifesto, it wasn't supposed to have been levy, as you have said.
Absolutely.
So it came as a deduction, and you voted for that bill at the time in Parliament.
I did not vote for a bill.
How did you vote in the Finance Bill Act 2023?
2023, I don't even vote. I was not even there. I did not vote in 2023.
Pull back that soundbite?
You can.
Yeah. So
yeah, you can. Why not?
Yes.
I did not vote. Remember, for the first reading and the second reading. The second reading, I was not even there.
So what was your position?
Remember, the bill was omnibus, in the sense it had a number of good progressive interventions. And I'll give you a good example. There was an element of levying money on avocado.
Yeah.
My voters in Gatanga, I said no. And one of the things which was being removed from that was that issue.
So you voted
now,
yes, as per the record from the Hansard of Parliament we have. So let's see what you said, what you told the farmers, avocado farmers in Kandara constituency in the company of your colleague, the lawmaker. This is what you said following the introduction of the ETIMS, which was the tax on avocado, and you spoke in your mother language. This was in March 2024. And this was in Kandara constituency. Then you went on to tell the people not to subscribe for ETIMS by the Kenya Revenue Authority. In fact, you and your colleague lawmaker told the KRA officers that they should leave.
Abdikari, I've told you, a mistake is mere a mistake by repeating it. And it's important as human beings, when you see an error, don't procrastinate. Don't run away from it. Face it. If the avocado or ETIMS route on charging taxes on avocado, you find it is not working for your people, come out. Because laws are made by people and are amended by people, are repealed by people, and as we are saying, as a member of parliament, I'll quickly be able to go back and say, look, this law, the spirit is right, but the implementation is wrong. The same thing with the issue about the housing. The spirit of giving people houses is correct, but the practicality of making sure that people get those houses is very wrong, and it is hurting people. It's hurting people's pay slips. And what we need to do is to let people build their own houses. Let the government build roads. Let them provide water. Let them provide electricity. People will build houses for themselves, and that is the problem. In the SHA issue, we have seen it's not working. Members of parliament here, we passed that bill on the SHA issue. It is now what you're saying, but let's go back and say this thing is not working, let us be disbanded. Okay. And also come back to the issue of e-citizen.
Yes, please.
Same thing, or the same system. You saw last week, in one quarter, the same company which has come up with this system of collecting the money has made 1.45 billion. And that money is not going direct to the constituted fund.
Thank you.
Same problem. Okay. So we are saying the e-citizen might be a good system, yes, but correct it to be able to serve the people. Otherwise, as of now, it is serving certain individuals.
Council Harvey, I need to take your closing remarks and sample the feedback here. Looking at Honorable Muriu, his colleague also here, Teto MP, similar way, the voting for the finance bill now, an Act of Parliament 2023, which had introduced these taxation measures. I mean, is there the conscience on the part of parliamentarians as to where the people, the taxpayers, feel pinched?
Let me put one thing to emphasize what both have said. To be consistent is to change often when facts disclose themselves better. And it is to that extent that I welcome all members of National Assembly and senators who are able to see where they went wrong. There is nothing wrong in having made a mistake before. That is the good thing. You learn from your mistake. Those who never venture to enterprise will never learn, because you only learn from your mistakes. The problem is failure to remedy those mistakes. At the apex of leadership of this administration, we have failed to learn from our mistakes. That's the reason why every day an issue of livestock is not being handled by the cabinet secretary in charge of livestock, but it's being handled by the president.
Yeah, the president.
An issue about public health is not being handled by the cabinet secretary in charge of health. That tells you something. And it's something that needs to be remedied right now. And we have said this. We want President Dr. William Samoei Ruto to succeed for the remainder of his term in office, because we put him in office. His failure will be our failure. But if he doesn't want to succeed, then we must verily also help them to exit. And that must be done.
Okay. Dr. Makali.
Yeah, as you conclude, Ayub, you know, I think with the things which are coming out, and these are facts, it will not make Kenya Kwanza government powerless. it will not make them stupid. It will not make them indecisive. By looking back, learning from the lessons, correcting and moving forward in a better way. That's what I would say.
Okay, just Honorable Madenge.
Thank you, Ayub. On the issue of the missing documents, title deeds,
Yes.
across the country, very many parcels of land, government and private, do not have title deeds. And therefore, this should be a wake-up call wholesomely to address the issue. On the missing title deeds, or in this case, I would see it as an error of omission rather than commission. Because there is actually, again, nothing lost. It has been flagged, and that is the beauty of having different institutions of government undertaking certain levels and corrective measures being taken. As both Wakilis here have said, there is no problem in making a mistake. The problem is in failure to collect it.
Correct.
On the issue of providing title deeds on the housing projects, it can be easily be collected unless the land is contested. And Wakili Mureu, I've left myself asking, should Kenyans still trust you in the new formation where you are?
Why not?
Why not?
He's the founder of UDA, architect of the UDA manifesto, sitting in the UDA executive today. He should quit. I actually challenge him, not tell UDA to chase him.
You fix your house from inside.
You see, you cannot have your cake and eat it. He is not fixing it from outside.
From inside.
I said he's a double agent.
Mheshimiwa Madenge, what benefit do you think I'm deriving for being a NEC member in UDA party?
I do not know the benefit.
Let me tell you, Madenge, let me put it today. Let me put you today.
Just allow me.
They are benefiting from my intellect.
Exactly.
I'm getting nothing in return. Take that home to your boss.
I have not gained no benefit from your intellect, Wakili. Absolutely nothing.
Take
you
that
made no
home.
contribution.
You
made no contribution
to perceive
as for me to get elected as a member of parliament in Nyeri Town. You had no personal contribution, neither corporate contribution. So it was the decision of the people of Nyeri Town constituency.
I answered your question. I told you, take that message you asked
so this
back
standard,
to your boss.
This standard that you have, that it is not a mistake to make
By
a
then your
mistake.
boss is watching.
Yes.
What you're saying.
That it is not a mistake to make a mistake. The mistake is repeating it. Apply that standard across.
Then you guys should stop.
Allow those who have made their mistakes to collect them without having
Go and tell your boss
to condemn them.
to disband SHA. Go and tell your boss to disband national housing. Go and tell your boss
on the
to disband e-citizen.
On the basis
Kenyans
of the Auditor General's report, the power to disband SHA is in your hands. Do not disappear from parliament like you did, like you have said you did when it came to voting. Be in parliament, vote
also
when the report is.
Also yours and that of Dr. Makalimo.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And by the way, he voted yes, so we have the records from the Hansard, and that goes unchallenged.
But he said he has learned from this.
He said he didn't vote.
We have resolved that matter.
Yeah, it's resolved.
Yeah. And I'm the chair.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
You are the Speaker of the House.